right, welcoming you to chair yoga for the care of Waldenstroms. I'm so grateful to be here in this virtual space with so many of you from all over the world. We have 30 people here in this session today, and many of them are caring for fatigue and some caring for peripheral neuropathy. And so I want to address those two issues through our class. And we always address those issues because they're pretty common. But I hope I can do a good job here helping you today. Some of us just traveling back from the Ed Forum, so we might have some kinks we need to work out from travel. So let's go ahead, even if it was just a 20-minute drive, right? So let's go ahead and get started by placing the feet on the earth. Sitting up nice and tall in the chair, welcoming you, Judith. So grateful to see you, and so grateful to see you, Sharon. Now we're officially at 30 people. So I've got my feet on the earth. I'm sitting up away from the back of my chair. And I hope I said hi to you, Marnie. And I'm going to just take a moment to address any particular tensions that I have in my own body. Maybe there's a little shoulder roll you want to do, or maybe you want to move the head from side to side, or if you're having pain or discomfort anywhere in the body, you might take a moment to just address that particular stress and tension where it shows up for you. And if you're like me, you might not know where it is until you start to do the practice, so we can get there eventually. All right. So let's begin, once we feel a little bit settled, by taking some breaths together as a community. So I'm going to inhale through my nose and exhale through my nose or mouth. If I'm feeling really stressed, exhaling from the mouth might feel good. Option to keep my eyes open and looking at all of my Waldenstrom's friends. Option to close the eyes and come to a more interior place. Can I spend the next 3 breaths paying attention to what it feels like to breathe? Very good. If you have the eyes open, closed, you can open them. I told you I was discombobulated. I'm going to take a moment to notice my posture. So a lot of us caring for fatigue, there's something we can do right away for fatigue, aside from physical activity, which is the #1 intervention for cancer-related fatigue. A lot of times we're sitting in a posture that might not be a posture that is conducive to a deeper, fuller breath. And so everything is kind of hunched and crunched. And in that case, we're not getting good blood circulation either. And so that simple adjustment of sitting up tall and rinsing the shoulders up, back, and down can help our whole system, can help address fatigue. So from this nice posture, we're going to bring the arms down at the sides and inhale the arms out and up as far as feels good to you, and softly release them back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Easy breaths, just getting my body warmed up, getting some lymph fluid pumping, getting some blood pumping. Maybe my arms can go up just a little bit higher this time. I'm not going to push through discomfort or pain for anything during this session. Right? Maybe it's just one arm, and that would be perfectly fine. You got it. Let's take 3 more, just saying hello and welcoming ourselves into this moment exactly as we are. You're welcome here in whatever state of being you're in. All right. Now I'm going to bring my arms out to the sides. Maybe my palms face forward. And if I felt comfortable doing so, I could maybe bring my arms back a little bit behind me, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and feel that little lift of the heart. With that little lift of the heart, I am undoing that rounded posture. And then I'll swing my arms in front and maybe cross one wrist on top and just pull the arms away from the body a little bit. Maybe the backs of the hands touch, maybe they don't. I'm inhaling and opening, lifting that heart. Exhaling, opposite wrist on top. Maybe the backs of the hands touch as I pull my arms away, creating that space in the upper back. You've got it, Jane. Big breath, open, little back bend. Exhale, opposite wrist on top. Pull the arms away. And we'll take one more posture lift. Beautiful, Joanne. And then let's give ourselves a hug this time. Doesn't matter which arm is on top. I'm going to tuck my chin and just give myself a few gold stars for showing up to this session today. And maybe you can imagine a little shimmer of gold stars raining down on you. Bloop, 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 bloop. Right? You got it, Catherine. Let's go ahead and just release the hands or the arms down into the lap. And I'm going to address neck tension next. So I'm tilting my left ear, left shoulder, coming back to center, right ear, right shoulder. Breathing in center, exhaling, moving from side to side with my breath, eyes open, eyes closed, whatever feels good. And just noticing, is it easier to move to one side than the other? Staying present without judging that. And sometimes I like to imagine I'm an alien form dropped into this human form for the day, and I can just be naturally curious about what it's like to have this body. I might take one more neck tilt, or maybe any other movement that would feel good. It could be a circle of the whole head. Maybe it's a small circle, maybe it's a big circle. And then I'm coming back to a neutral place, and I'm going to see how it would feel just to bring my right arm behind my back. Like I've tucked my wing behind my back. If that feels too intense for your shoulder, you can rest the hand or wrist on the hip. And then from here, I'm going to tilt my left ear away from that arm folded behind my back. Feel that stretch in the upper right trap muscle. I'm going to take some breaths. So when I apply the breath to my stretch, I'm making it a mind-body practice. If you would like, you could additionally spin the chin down. So I'm peeking at my left shoulder. And again, taking a few softening breaths here. Switching sides slowly and carefully, maybe observing the difference between the sides. And then taking that left arm behind the back or resting it on the hip, tilting the right ear to the right shoulder. I'm not going to push through discomfort or pain again. The side could feel easier or more challenging. And again, just noticing that. That's good, Gordon. He's spinning his chin down towards that right shoulder, and I can see some softening. Especially helpful for those of us who are constantly in that lifted shoulder position. All right, and then coming back to center and just loosening it up a little bit. Maybe you want to take a little drink of water or something to wet your whistle. And then I'll invite you to take a little bit of a wider stance. We're still seated, but if you need to stand, of course, I understand that. So a little bit of a wider posture here. And I'm just going to see how it would feel to lift up my heels and then lift up my whole forefoot. And maybe it's happening, maybe it's not. So I'm lifting up my heels, lifting up my forefoot, rocking my feet, and then eventually just planting my feet on the earth. Again, a nice wide stance away from the back of the chair. And I think you know where I'm going next. It's a torso circle. Maybe it's a slow, lazy in a good way circle. Maybe you're feeling like a little Energizer bunny today. But just moving the blood, pumping the lymph can help address moving prana, which means both breath and energy in the yogic system. Another way to move prana is literally just through breathing and being aware of one's breath. So if one experiences a lot of fatigue and yet movement and physical activity is very depleting, addressing the layer of the breath is my biggest recommendation. Let's come back the other way. Breathing in. Breathing out. Waking up the spine. You've got it, Anne. And then we'll meet back in a neutral posture, again, away from the back of the chair and just noticing. I want to notice my belly for a moment. And I'm going to allow just this once, just for myself to soften my belly. I'm constantly sucking in my gut. I don't know about you. And this is another thing that can impede my deeper, fuller breath. So letting go of holding that belly. You might even take your hands or arms onto the belly and make some circles. And just sort of letting go of that holding in of the belly. Maybe you want to close the eyes for a moment and see if you could bring the breath into the equation. Soft, easy breaths in and out. Letting the belly be what it is. Allowing that diaphragm a place to go. The diaphragm pushes down when we breathe in. Thus, the abdomen has to push out. That's the reasoning behind it. And I'm moving my hands in a clockwise direction. This is the direction of digestion. Up the right side, over, down the left side. And I might do that a couple more times. And digestion is also so tied into our sense of vitality. All right, so I'm going to take my hands back onto my legs for a moment. And I might just draw the right arm up to the right rib cage or wrist to the rib cage. I'm leaning over to the left side. My feet are on the earth. My seat is on the chair. I'm going to relax that right shoulder. Yes, you've got it. And I'm just breathing into that right rib cage. Seeing if I can feel any movement in the right rib cage when I breathe in. Breathe out. And then I'll switch sides, left hand, left rib cage, leaning to the right, filling up that left side body. You got it, Joyce. It's so wonderful to see you. I can't wait to catch up with you a bit. And then we'll release back to center. You could do that the same way, or you might want to involve the arms. So I might reach my right arm up and over, leaning to the left, exposing that right side body, imagining that those fish gills on my right side are opening with my breath, and closing as I release to center, left arm lifting, leaning to the right side, opening the gills. And releasing and moving from side to side, just seeing if I can open up the side body. I feel like I'm a creaky old accordion that nobody has played in a while if I don't stretch this part of my body. I might take one or two more little side body stretches, caring for my shoulders accordingly. You got it, Sophie. That's beautiful. So glad to see you. All right, and then I'm coming back to center. I'll take hold of my chair and I'm going to step my feet in and step my feet out. So now I'm starting to lubricate my hip sockets. I'm starting to use the lower limbs, get the blood flowing in the lower limbs. So I'm stepping in and stepping out. And can you feel that core working? You got it, Edith. Beautiful. Stepping out, stepping in one or two more times. Are you breathing? And then the next time I step in, I'll stay there. And I'm just going to lift the right leg up. Extend the right leg, hold, big breath in. Exhale that foot back down. Inhale, left leg lift, hold, feel that strength in the leg, and release back down. So you could do just the legs, extending one at a time, or you might want to add a lifting of the arms. So I'm lifting both arms up, breath in, right leg lift, exhale down. Inhale, arms and left leg lift, whatever side you're on. I don't know what side I'm on. I don't know what day it is. We're breathing in, arms and one leg lift. Breathing out, coming down. See how this feels for you. Maybe you want to start to widen out your awareness to the room around you. And I might take one more on each side. You got it, Allison. Beautiful. And then releasing the hands down. I'll extend just the right foot. Just the right foot. And I'm going to do some foot pumps here. So this may or may not be something that is possible for you. Give it a whirl. If it doesn't work, I'm sending the power of my mind there and visualizing it. So I'm going to press my toes down towards the earth, and then I'll pick my toes up and peel them back towards my face, towards my body. So I'm just pumping the foot down and up, or maybe massaging the lower limb if this does not feel accessible for me, making up my own exercise that I can do. Pumping the foot up and down maybe one more time. All right, and then we'll switch sides. Left leg forward, heel on the ground. Pressing my toes towards the earth and picking them up. So it's like I'm stepping on a gas pedal. Although you don't really do that with your left foot. You're stepping on the clutch. And I do drive a manual car, so this is something that a little set of muscles that I need. And it is so fun. You would love my car. Her name is Gloria. She's red. She's a Ford Fiesta, and she's very zippy. All right, so let's come back. I'm going to sit at the edge of my chair and contemplate my next move. I'm never in a hurry. Maybe I feel today is not the day to stand up and do standing postures. Maybe I feel like I am ready to bounce right up. Let's take a few sit to stands if that is you. So I'm just going to practice coming up a little bit and sit right back down. But if you have knee issues, skip on over this one, friends, and just come to stand or stay seated as is your want. Coming up to stand, sitting back down a few more times. Use the breath. Inhale and let it lift up your sails. All right, Joanne, here we go. We're coming to stand all the way up. You got it. Awesome. Take a moment, take a sip of water. Make sure there's nothing that you're going to trip on around your area if you're coming to stand. Find the back of your chair so that we have that support. And bear with me, Bev and Kit, as we do a little bit of toe work. So this may or may not be possible for you, but maybe I'll send my mind to my body part or the energetic expression of my body part, and that is my toes. Lifting and spreading my toes. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm digging them back down as if into sand, or maybe not. So just doing whatever I can with my toes, even if it is just occupying them with my mental capacity. Lifting, spreading, digging. Maybe you just look down at your toes and say hello and send them a little gold star or two. And however old you are, remember that you've had those toes for that many years. All right, so now I'm going to just bend my right knee, and maybe I can feel the forefoot of that right foot on the earth, and maybe I'm getting a stretch in the toes. And then I'll switch sides, bending the left knee and pushing the forefoot down into the earth. Maybe I'm getting a big stretch to those or left toes, excuse me. And I'm going to go back and forth a few times. So that's a way that you can practice kind of massaging the foot and addressing peripheral neuropathy in the feet. That might be more accessible than what we're about to do next. So you might stay doing this, or you might come to lift up on your tiptoes and float your way back down. Yeah, that's good. Maybe one arm or both arms rises up as you rise up. Floating my way up with my breath, lifting my sails. Beautiful. We're floating up with the inhale and softly coming down with the exhale. Maybe one hand holds onto the chair, right? Or I could stand with my back against the wall. You got it, Joan. And again, widening out my awareness, perhaps I can notice where my field of vision begins and ends, if that is something that is accessible to me. All right, and then I'm floating my way back down. I'm sinking into my knees. I'm going to bring my hips back so I'm in my chair pose. And maybe the arms come back behind me like a skier with my ski poles, pulling my belly towards my spine. Can you feel all of the muscles working here, the glute muscles? Now we're going to inhale the arms up, straightening the knees. Exhale, sink your way down, arms coming back. Feel those shoulder blades squeezing together. Good, Gordon. Let's lift up and down a few more times at your own pace. And these muscles, the glute muscles, so important, used for more than just sitting. Used for activities like going up the steps, getting up out of a chair. And I feel my core strength here too. I might do one or two more of these whole body movements And when you're ready to come just back to stand, coming back to stand, and we'll take the right foot forward and bring the left foot back at an angle. So we're stepping into warrior one. I'm bending into my right knee. If you feel wobbly here, widen out the base so I could walk my right foot to the right. My torso comes from a leaned forward posture that I see sometimes to a nice upright posture. I'm squeezing that left glute muscle so I feel that stability. And then option to do whatever feels good with the arms. Maybe you keep one hand on the chair, one hand on the heart. Maybe it's two hands at heart center. And here I'm just going to sink into my breath and feel the strength and power in just being present. So here we are in warrior one with the right foot forward. Welcoming you, Ginger. Doing what feels good to you, of course. And we're moving out of this shape, shortening the stance now. The right leg is still forward, left leg still back. Both legs will be straight here as we take a little dip forward, a little bow forward, maybe resting the forearms on the back of the chair. And I'm tucking my chin so I have a nice lengthened back of my neck, pulling my belly towards my spine. And if you don't feel a stretch in the back of the right leg, you could come down a little bit farther, right? Or you can adjust this, make this your own. Or just visualize. And then when you're ready, come on up. Step the left foot forward, right foot back at an angle. Sinking into the left knee. Squeezing that right glute muscle. Maybe finding both or one of your hands on the heart or at heart center. Softening into the strength. Easing into the breath. Even if all you did was sit and breathe during this class, you would be receiving 1,000, a million, a cajillion gold stars. And then let's make our way towards the pyramid, our second pose. We're just shortening the stance a touch. Both legs are straight and we're taking a bow. Folding forward till we feel a stretch in the back of the left leg. Tucking that chin. Pulling that belly towards the spine, finding the breath. And making sure we're not rounding the back here. Yeah, a little tuck of that chin goes a long way. That's beautiful, Roxanne. And then we're coming up out of it nice and slow. And I might take a step back and take a downward dog, or I might, if I'm seated, I might go ahead and do a very careful forward fold that allows my back to stay somewhat flat. Right, so I'm just getting a little space in my spine, a little stretch. And then when you're ready, make your way up. We're going to do one more standing pose, wind down, and I have my singing bowls today, so I'm going to give you a little bit of singing bowl love. So let's go ahead and find that standing on one leg posture. It's one of my favorites. I suggest you weave it into your daily routine. And you don't have to have both hands off of your support. You can have the hand on the support at all times. So it starts with a little bend to that right knee. So I'm dispersing the effort across more muscles, not just the joint. And then I'll pick up my right heel. Maybe the toe stays on the ground. Maybe I lift that leg all the way up and hug it in. I'm zipping up my core. And I'm finding my edge. Where is my edge today? I actually want to meet my edge. I want to find that place where I'm going to fall out of it as long as I have that support there. It's not a real fall, right? And I want to come back to it. How can I soften into this? Yes, beautiful, guys. So 1 minute per side per day is the prescription for retaining independence and helping avoid falls. So I'm coming out of that, and I'm just going to do a little sachet, march in place, kind of juice up all the joints. And then we're going to switch sides. So weight will come in the left leg. That's a little soft bend to that left knee. Picking up the right heel, hug it in if that feels good, or keep the toe on the earth if that feels good. Zip it up, keep the breath flowing. Find your edge. Find your breath. A lot of times we hold our breath when we get into something challenging. And we want to, we're like rigidly holding, when we could soften and let those micro movements kind of allow us to sway a little bit in the breeze. Wow, I like that. Someone's got their hands lifted in the air. Looks good. And then we're releasing and walking it out, and that's Jim. Okay, beautiful, Jim. Now I'm going to take that long, slow elevator ride down to my seat if I've been standing. Make sure you can feel the seat behind you before you start to descend. And I'm going to bend my knees, bring my hips back, turn on my glute muscles, and slow ride down. So I'm practicing using these muscles. All right, very good, Janelle. Take my right ankle over my left knee. Once you get there, take a moment. So those of you with peripheral neuropathy, you're already doing this probably, tapping the bottom of your foot, or it could be just a gentle tap. And I'm so excited because I made a really good friend at the Ed Forum, our massage therapist and integrative oncology speaker, Jackie Bowers, and she and I are discussing a wellness webinar that's all about self-touch, acupressure points, and she's very, very knowledgeable. I cannot wait for you to meet her if you haven't connected with her as a speaker yet. So let's make this a hip stretch. You might already be feeling that. Maybe you want to lean forward a little more if you're not. Maybe you want to make this a different pose. You're welcome to do that as well. Adding the layer of my breath. And on those exhalations, I let myself just soften a little bit. So I'm letting go of my effort a little bit. Getting a bit of a deeper stretch. Coming back up, crossing the knee over. Very important to move the spine in all directions. And this is the rotation of the spine. And maybe it's just a little bit to the right. We're going to use the torso muscles for the action. And the hands are there just for support, or the arms just for support as we twist the body to the right with a tall spine. You know, the most efficient way to wring out that dish towel is when it's really long. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm doing this. And then as I come back, oh, all of the beautiful fresh blood comes back into my organs. And I'm going to switch sides with my left ankle on my right knee. Taking a moment maybe to tap the lower limb or the foot or whatever is available here. even if I don't currently have peripheral neuropathy. Touching the feet can be just a very simple grounding technique we use if we're experiencing anxiety. All right. Hip stretch, I reach forward with the heart. No rounding in my back, softening my shoulders. Gaze is towards the earth, and I add that breath for ease and for deepening. And I think if you were here at the beginning, I said I wanted to approach today's session as if I were learning the ways of being human for the first time. Let's come up to sit. Cross the knee over. I'm taking my twist to the left and acknowledging that being human is so complicated. And the human body is miraculously complicated. But I feel somehow that through this practice, I feel more connected and whole. Relaxing back to center, making any other movements the body's asking for. Maybe it's one more big stretch. Maybe you would like to take a sip of water. Maybe you would like to find a reclining posture. And I'm going to need a little sound test help here with my bowls. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear that. Oh, good. I've got 2 thumbs up from Bev. And how about that one? All right. So friends, what I would invite you to do is just come to be as comfortable as you possibly can. Maybe you want to scoot to the back of your chair and let yourself drain of effort a little bit. Maybe you want to actually take the time to create a reclined posture that feels really restful. Closing the eyes and letting all of the moments that led to this one just drop by the wayside. Entering into this breath and this exhale. Allowing my belly to be exactly as it is, the shape and size that it is. Letting go of any holding or gripping in the belly. Filling my belly up with the breath. Just beginning to open myself up to the sounds that I am experiencing and opening myself up to receiving sound. Receiving sound as nourishment, breathing in, inviting that sound into my body, even on a cellular level. stay where you are, please do. If you would like to help me seal our practice today, you might begin to stir out of your reclining posture, or maybe come to the edge of your seat. We're taking our hands or arms together at heart center, or giving ourselves a hug, whichever feels best. And I'm going to close our session with the sound of 1 Om and 3 Shantis. Shanti means peace. So you could listen in, or perhaps you would like to join in yourself on your end. As a community, you are never alone. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And thanking you so much for your practice, my friends. Namaste.